Is it on? Okay, come on in. 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 Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We got a whole lot to talk about today, buddy. DM49, what's up? What's up? What's up? Man, you better stop. Hey, me and DM49, we talk on Instagram, so I can talk to it like that. Man, you better stop. You said USCJ and J Walk. Hey. Hey, we gotta talk about it, man. Hey, we gonna talk about it. Brenton Iverson, what's going on, man? How's it going? DT8189. How's it going, man? Hey, listen, we got to talk about this, man. We got a serious business to talk about, man. I got my loss on the sauce gear on right now because USC Coach Grinch was lost in Alfredo sauce last night, and we're going to talk about it. You guys know all year long I have been protecting, I have been covering up, but I'm not going to just, we're going to talk about it, Big J. What's the word?
Man, oh, man.
How you feeling about this, man?
Let me start first by just, paying respect to to a young man who's battling for his life at the moment.
Let's talk about, matter of fact, Jay, me and Jay, we initially, I just want to say this, we were going to cancel today, and because we made the commitment, because of what happened with the Buffalo DB, we were going to cancel, but we made a commitment. We said we want to talk about him real quick first. It's a terrible thing, but go ahead, Jay.
It's just it's just so terrible, like I could feel my whole, I'm running out of breath just I'm running out of breath just putting myself in the shoes of his family. Damar Hamlin. For those of you who are not aware, there's a safety, a 24-year-old safety that plays currently for the Buffalo Bills, who is just absolutely fighting for his life. The recent reports are saying that he did have cardiac arrest in the game last night against the Cincinnati Bengals, where he took a hit, where he made the tackle, and immediately when he got up, he passed out within seconds after making that tackle and standing up. So before we get started, I just, with all due respect regarding everyone's background, everyone's beliefs, I just believe that prayer changes things, and I feel that when we all can stand on one accord and support and intercede for people, especially for such a young man whose future and life is still so bright and so much to be accomplished still in his journey, not as an athlete, but as a human being. Can we just take a small moment of prayer, if you don't mind, big bro?
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, absolutely, man. I just that whole situation just kind of disturbed me, man, as I was watching it last night. We get ready to get on this game, and B Hunter, we about to get to you. Go ahead, Jay, real quick, because we want to acknowledge what happened last night for this young man. If we were in those shoes, we would want somebody to intercede for us. Okay, my brother.
Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, first and foremost, Lord God, we just come before you just asking for your peace and your comfort in such a time as this, where there is a young man, one of your children, a young man who you said you've made in your own image, who's currently battling for his life, Lord God, for his very existence on this earth, Father. May you please breathe your breath of life into him. Heavenly Father, may you heal him from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet. May you touch his body and bring him back full circle, Lord God. And please, Father, for those of us who are all in position just to look upon this circumstance, just to realize, to have a little bit more sensitivity and awareness of being together and the real risks that are involved with playing professional sports at a high level, particularly that of the NFL. We grow to see these types of athletes as superhuman, and you know what, they really are. But at the same time, Lord, they are all still physical vessels, just living a spiritual battle, a spiritual life. And so we just pray right now, Lord God, that you heal his body, that you please don't allow him to leave this earth that way, Lord God. If it is your will, we just pray that you please just allow him to recover. For you said healing is the children's bread, Lord God. You said ask and ye shall receive. You said knock and the door shall open, and you promised that there is no good thing you will withhold from those who walk according to you, your will, and who are called according to your purposes. So, Lord God, we're connecting and interceding on his behalf, and we just ask for your dynamic healing power. We ask for a miracle so that all who are looking upon this circumstance will know that it's through you and only you that this young man comes back to wholeness, Holy Spirit. So we just thank you, we love you, and we praise you, and we ask these things in your son, Jesus' mighty, matchless, and precious name. Amen. And you know,
Amen.
you have to
Amen.
leave this caveat. We all have different spiritual beliefs and backgrounds, and I do not choose to offend anyone, but it is just my belief that prayer is a powerful weapon against pain and hurt and illness. So please don't take it by any slight if you feel like we've crossed the line today. We just want to make sure that we're sending as much positivity as possible and pay the proper respects. We're not just going to carry on our lives just like everything is okay when there's pain and trauma.
Right. It's not normal. It's not normal right now.
No, it
It's
is.
not normal.
We're going to be sensitive and hyper aware as people and community people and leaders, you know, who have children. I have babies, I have children, and I can only imagine what that young man's parents and loved ones are feeling. And just for the whole community of football, we need to positively put our energy into making sure that we're sending healing vibes towards he and his loved ones on this moment.
Amen. So yeah, we definitely appreciate that, and shout out to the whole Buffalo organization, Cincinnati organization, all those who were involved in that. Even the young man that ran into him last night, it got to be going through his head as well, man. So much prayer for him as well on the flip side of that, man, and the family.
We very much cliche, man. I'll die for this. I remember I've said it about 500 times, man. I die for this. I die for this game. I'm willing to die out there. I'm going to war. I'm going to battle. I used to say stuff like that, but the truth of the matter is, none of us truly really wants to die playing the game. None of us.
It came full circle last night when I seen that. I said, that's not cool right there.
No, the power and life
and death
most certainly lives in the tongue. So let's speak life into him. Let's speak love into him. Let's speak healing and wholeness into this whole circumstance, and hopefully some awareness that we got to be more sensitive and supportive to what everyone may be going through at any given moment. And this is the turn of the new year. And you know, if you looking at media, there have been many losses in the recent weeks, many prolific losses in the many weeks, right? So let's try to keep from that standpoint. Let's stay positive. And as I pivot and caveat to this USC stuff, I'm going to say one positive thing. I'm proud of the season these boys have had in terms of bouncing back from a horrible, horrendous, disgusting, despicable year last year. And very happy to have, what do we have, 11 wins, right?
11-3.
If you would have said we were going to win 11 games, no matter how you got them, I would have felt proud, a year ago this time. But then with that being said, I am pissed off.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. I just want everybody to be aware. We wanted to get that out the way and acknowledge the young man. That was, to me, that was essential. That was important. Yes. So let's get into this game. I was at the game, and I tell you, man, I was completely lost in the sauce. I'm still lost in the sauce as it relates to this game. It looked like we were getting ready to just run away with this game. It looked like we can do whatever we want. I mean, Caleb Williams was doing absolutely whatever he wanted during this game. And I'm looking at the defense, man, and we got to deal with it, man. I mean, the way it looked yesterday, I'm seeing so many missed tackles, man. And it just baffled me. And Jay, the thing about it, where I was sitting at, I could see the guys that were involved with the tackling, And it's just like the running back Spears was right in the middle of these guys. And like, how did he get up out of that? And so we gotta all year long, let me say it, all year long, I have been defending Alex Grinch. You guys know that. And right now, no adjustments was made. I got to deal with it like it is. No adjustments was made. If the 3-3-5 is ran correctly, I believe you can have success. But I'm not sure. And there's nothing knocking on Grinch. I believe in human beings. I believe in people that are have families. I'm not one that just knock people down. But what I seen yesterday, I feel like, man, that it's coming down to a change, man. I didn't feel like that at the beginning, but what I seen last night, it kind of changed my thoughts on it, man. And I'm gonna get to B Hunter, and I want you to respond to that, Jay. Let me get to B Hunter. B Hunter says USC defense was lost in the Tulane gumbo sauce.
Yes.
You said the gumbo sauce, brother. Live close to New Orleans. Live close. He said, live close to New Orleans. The fans are riding me hard. Hey, yeah, that's right. Tulane is in New Orleans, man. Man. Jay, what you thinking, man?
Man, it's one of them things where it's how I feel, man.
You was were you lost in it?
A change is gonna come.
A change is gonna come. Absolutely, man.
I love how ambitious our defensive coordinator is. I love how ambitious he is. I love his beliefs. I love his philosophy. I love how he can inspire the athletes. I love it. What I don't love is the in-game decision-making. I don't love being in zero coverage with the game on the line where we have no safety help and we bring our safeties down in man coverage and they run a 5-yard slant or a small 5-yard bang 7, bang post and break for 70 yards when the game is on the line. I don't understand breaking down in open field tackling and not stressing, rally to the ball and pursue instead of diving at the running back, diving at the legs of the ball carrier. I don't understand dropping in zone coverage in hook to curl and then not getting to the hook to curl spot. Dropping in zone coverage to where you're supposed to be a hook to curl to flat player and you're in the middle of the field playing spy instead because you think the quarterback's going to scramble. Meanwhile, the curl route happens right behind you. There's so many things that I saw that I shook my head. And this is going to sound horrible right now. But I'm telling you right now, with about 10 minutes into the fourth quarter, my spirit got very uneasy. And I said, oh, no, we're about to lose. And I hate that feeling. Because I could see Tulane specifically making the adjustments, even the adjustments to corral our offense in. I could see Tulane getting all the momentum on special teams. I could see Tulane actually moving the ball with minimum base plays, like nothing fancy.
It was so basic. Even when the quarterback took off, I'm like, okay, we got this covered. All of a sudden, a lane, bro. I can't even. This is a lane just split open like the Red Sea.
So you will not hear me applaud the defense for this performance. You will not hear me say I'm proud of the unit as a whole. There were some individual standouts that I was very happy to see contribute at a high level. But overall, I believe in not saying negative things about someone or something during the middle of a pilgrimage.
Hey, so let's deal. This comment right here has to deal with what you're saying. Let's read that, and I want you to finish that because this.
Okay, let's read it.
Why you two ticked off? It said you both jumped on the Grinch tank. So go ahead, because it's what you're saying.
Here's what I understand.
Get an understanding.
It says, why am I pissed off? I'm pissed off because our young men had an opportunity to really do something special beyond what they've already accomplished this season. Now, if you pay close attention, yes, the defense gave up many, many yards, many yards. We also got critical stops and turnovers. So truly, the defense did still play defense well in spurts. But when time was needed to crunch down, we didn't have it. We didn't have everything that it takes. Now, I've never been high on Coach Grinch. You've never heard me say, I love Coach Grinch as a defensive coordinator. What I said was, I love what he's doing with the pieces that he has. I love what he's doing with the quick turnaround. I love the difference in last year's defense to this year's defense because we're competitive. So there's a lot to like about him. There's a lot to like really scratch your head about, but that's been the same case all season long. Here's the thing that most people have to understand. He's our defensive coordinator. There's no reason in complaining and whining and moping and being a baby about what it is this year. There's no reason. It's not going to change. The one thing I will say I was wrong with was I said, I believe game 3, maybe game 5 of the season, I said, you know what? This is going to be the worst our defense has plays this year. I was wrong. We played worse. And I can admit it when I was wrong. However,
I honestly, I didn't think. Here's the puzzling thing to me: how is it possible that we play like against Oregon State? This is what my mind was so baffled at this. We played Oregon State tough. We played Notre Dame tough. Even though UCLA scored their points, we played them tough. How is it that those adjustments can't be made? I just, my mind is not processing this. And you got offenses like Cal, Tulane, and we give credit to the running back. How is this possible? I don't understand this.
Yeah, Arizona. So they're at running back. Wait, I'm not going to take anything away from Tulane. Those boys deserve to win. I'm very proud of what they brought. They punched us in upside the head. The Trojans got lumps. We got knots upside our head. Now you can't like talk crap and then, you know, when you win and then when you lose, be a sore loser. Here's the deal. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. I'm falling on my sword right now because I did defend Grinch, because the truth is
At
Grinch and his defensive scheme gave us some amazing moments this year. Some very very positive things where you can see that's the foundation. That's the core of this defense, is a turnover style advantageous defense. However, with the singular one gap, man for man gap style, it's too human dependent. It's too dependent on that one player making that one play. And these young men are people. People make mistakes. So when you are scheming up things, you have to have contingencies in order. You have to. Whose video isn't clear real quick? Alan.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Is it my video or is it his video?
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to just interrupt.
No. I wanted to say the same thing.
We want to make sure. Yeah. So really what I'm saying is I just didn't see the depth. Number one, we didn't have depth to make adjustments. You could tell with multiple of our linebackers stepping out of this game and entering into the transfer portal, it showed up. Raylan Goforth, CV showed up. We need them dudes. We needed them to be here. To be honest, we actually needed Jordan Addison to be here, because I saw in the special teams game, we needed our offensive linemen to be here.
Oh my God.
Look, let's really put it in. If I was to say the play of the game to me was a muff kickoff return when you call fair catch, and then for some reason you try to field it as it's going out of bounds and you're running sideways. Rule 101: when you're a returner, if you have to run sideways towards the sideline to field a kick, let it go.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a plain catch.
Because when you catch it, your momentum is going to carry you out of bounds anyway. So that was a devastating turn of events, and you all felt it. If you watched that game, when that happened, you all got sick, and you all asked, what are you doing?
I knew. Yeah, thank you.
So with that being said, then we get the ball on a short field. Without our main offensive lineman in there, We try to power our way out of the red zone on the 2-yard line, and it doesn't happen. Now we get a safety. Now they get the ball back with less than 3 minutes or so in the game. You felt it. You believe, like, I don't know if our defense can do it. And then we get them on 4th down twice, I think, in that drive. And they find a way to convert. And all of it, they're so on all 3 levels of the game. Special teams, we messed it up. Defense, we gave up too many yards, especially in the last 3 minutes of the game. And then our offense couldn't move the ball 3 yards out of the red zone, out of the end zone. That's all 3 levels of the game not showing up. You're gonna lose. You're going to lose. All right.
Absolutely.
These are the growing pains that's required to understand what's necessary in recruitment, what's necessary in mindset and mentality. And I do believe Coach Lincoln Riley, when he said in his press conference, he said, with regards to this defense, we have to take a deep dive into this and really figure out what needs to be done. That's ambiguous. It's a lot to look into, but at the same time, I don't think anybody's safe.
Yeah, well, only coach I will say personally, me, is Sean Noah, the D-line coach. I mean, he's had success at Michigan. Tulane had success. Now we got some other guys that can get some work on, but I think but nobody at this point, the way it looked last night, man, nobody really looked. You're absolutely right. Nobody looked safe. Jay says we need to go down south and get some real linebackers. Hey, listen, Jay, we got some linebackers coming, and this is the piece that I was trying to convey over to some earlier this year. Well, trying to tell everybody this year that we had linebackers coming in. We only could deal with the pieces that we've already had in place, which is the linebackers that were already there. I'm not taking anything away from them, but not one linebacker coming in is attacking Curtis. That we had already is attacking Curtis. You got a Braylon Shelby coming in who's extremely good. You got a David Peavy coming in that's extremely good. You got the linebacker from Oklahoma State. He's coming in. He's a firecracker. So we got some players coming in, but you got Sam Green. You got other guys coming in.
Muhammad.
Jalil Muhammad. Thank you for telling me that. I forgot. I could try to think of all the trends. And then you got Keon Bars. So you got these guys coming in, but these guys can't help us right now. So right now, Grinch has to work with what he has to work with. Now, saying that, I'm saying this, is that I didn't see any major adjustments. Now, early on in the season, I see some adjustments like in Arizona State. If we can remember, they came out there, Arizona State was firing on all cylinders. Then we came and made adjustments. But it's like, okay, that's the only time I've really just seen major adjustments made. Last night, what's that?
Washington State.
Washington State as well. And so, but last night, it was like no adjustments made. I seen this running back hit the corner, man, a few times, and I'm just like, where is everybody at? You know, you go ahead, Jay.
So there's only so much willpower humans have. There's only so much willpower that people have. And I think with all of the distractions of what it is to be in that position, here's the truth, the ultimate truth, which is, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm only speaking on statistics and from a record standpoint. Statistics and from a record standpoint. This USC team still does not know how to actually win just yet. None of these guys have been extensive winners in their college career. They're all a bunch of guys who are trying their best to come together and figure it out how to win and win forever. And I think even Coach Riley himself is learning how to win at the highest level, at the highest pedigree, at the highest clip. And he says, hey, we got this recipe. We understand what to do. Well, we've yet to see you actually do it. We've seen you climb to the top of Mount Everest, but we haven't seen you put your flag on the peak. We haven't seen you ascend to the very pinnacle and then look down at everything and go, that's what we conquered. We've seen you climb up some high degrees, but there's always been a couple of teams sitting on the crown, on the throne above you. So at this point, I want Lincoln Riley to be a man of his word. I want to see the accountability in the head coach do the things that we believe he's capable of, which I'm fully competent that he can and will. I want to see if Alex Grinch is the guy that can help this defense ascend to the higher levels. I actually do want to see what he gets where these athletes are no longer leftover pieces from a tenure where you're trying to piecemeal this stuff together like an erector set, but instead you're growing and developing athletes to play this style of defense and to wrap up and tackle the correct way. But I still have yet to see consistently I don't have the confidence that like, okay, here we go. Yeah. This defense is very sound because all I think, if we're in the top 30 in the country in defense, we're winning a national championship.
Well, I said that earlier in the year. If we could just be a little bit above average, and it seemed like we started that way, but man, we have just went absolutely backwards, man.
We did. We went
backwards. And we just got to call it like it is, man. I don't understand. I'm just looking at this. Like I said, I was sitting there looking, and I keep seeing these big runs. And then I see the quarterback. I mean, I just could not believe what I was seeing. Painful. And I don't even see, when you're sitting in the game, you want to go see if it's some type of, when they come back to the sideline, if you're getting after them or not. I didn't even see that.
No,
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, you didn't see like the coaches lighting a fire under these guys.
You didn't see that. You just right? you didn't see it. I'm gonna scroll down to some of these. Hey, Darnell, man, what's up? I've been saying Darnell been hitting me up for the longest, and I keep forgetting. I be lost to the sauce. Darnell, what's up? I finally got you, man. What's up, the OC, Orange County? Hey, Darnell is in the house, man. What is up? Hey, I've been telling him, man, hey, forgive me, man. Oh, and shout out to all your homies, Darnell. All your homies out there in the OC, man. Big shout out to you.
That's where I'm at, Darnell. We should link up.
Yeah, that's where Jay's at. So, man, Tule's out of here, man. We seen that today. So as we move forward with this thing, I mean, we got to come to a conclusion tonight, man. We got to come to a conclusion. Do you see personally? I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, put me on the spot.
Do you see personally?
I stand
as of right now, I'll say it first just to make you feel better.
No, don't make me feel better. Give it to me.
I'll say it first. Okay. But do you see, does John Walker see Alex Grinch being here next year as the defensive coordinator?
Okay. Do I see it?
I told you I didn't want to put you on the spot like that. No. I would have spoke my piece first.
Here, do I see it? Yes, I see it. Do I want it? Not necessarily. No. But do I see it? Absolutely, because it is unreasonable. It is unreasonable. It is almost ethically unmoral to expect that man to change the entire culture of this defense in the short time that he has had. Because the fact is the 3-3-5 is the type of defense that takes time. It just does. And I've seen it played so well. I've seen it be so successful. So I understand why he's hanging on to it so much, because it gives you those pick six moments. It gives you those forced fumbles. It gives you the line stunts to get those pop balls that give our DBs a chance. So I can see him here. I just don't believe intrinsically that it's going to be able to turn over as quickly as it should by next season. That's what I feel. I feel like it'll still take time.
I'm gonna be honest, Jay, and Hugo. What's up, my man, Hugo? He's out in Utah. He says it's Grinch in charge of how to tackle as a position coach. Man, that I don't know. I think each position coach usually handles that, right?
But Grinch is a safeties coach, right?
Right. So but I'm talking about the linebackers. Their coach handles them, and
yeah. But as a whole, tackling drills are universal. They're done under an umbrella. Like the way you teach the linebackers are the way you teach the punters. The way you teach the punters is the way you teach the quarterback and the kickers. Because believe it or not, quarterbacks have to learn how to tackle as well in the case that there's a turnover and they got to go make a play. So I'm trying to tell you, tackling as a whole is a team identity. And what I saw a residual hangover from the last championship game in the Pac-12 championship. I think against the Fighting Irish, our fellas really, really played. They played their hearts out, man, on the defensive side of the ball. They played physical, they played aggressive, and that was the peak. I think after that, there was a plateau, and then there was a regression. And the stats will indicate that that is the case, right? Because we gave up 203 something yards rushing by one running back, almost 300. We gave up over 300 yards rushing total in this game. Are you kidding me? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So if I had to choose, and I'm not taking anything personal, I think Alex Grinch is going to be a great defensive coordinator, just not at USC.
This year.
And that's hard to say. Because I love so much about him and what he brings. I just don't know that in the time that we need it done, in the window that we need to get it done, I don't know that it has that ability to turn over that fast, because we are again about to lose dozens of players through the portal. And a lot of them are going to be defensive. So then you got to bring more defensive guys in and teach them that system all over again. Think about this. It's not like the players that we have are going to hang out and say, okay, now develop me longer in this system. A lot of them are going to say, hey, we're out to go find a scheme that works for my style. Instead of try to force me to learn this way, I need to play downhill. I wouldn't be shocked if some of our marquee star contributors from this defense are no longer with the Trojans this spring. And that's painful, because I'm so heartbroken right now that CJ Williams is transferring.
I hate it, man. I hate that I guess we got double bad news today, man. CJ Williams, and then Tulane, man, he's checking up out of here, and rightfully so, man. Tulane pretty much led the nation in sacks. I think it's one guy has more than him. He's even leading the Alabama guy. What's his name? Will Anderson. He's even leading him. Yeah. So big shout out to him, and he's doing what he got to do, man. Somebody says Zombie says 44 linebacker hasn't played. He's in the transfer portal. He's transferring. CV did say he was transferring.
I thought CV played well in his moments. So
yeah. So yeah, we got double bad news today, man, and we got those guys leaving, and like as Jay just alluded to, we got some guys that are leaving, man. So we have got to continue to hit this transfer portal hard. We missed out on what's his name, Florida State guy, Fisk. It's some other guys. I see the Utah State guy that USC just offered him a defensive end, and Washington State guy. I hadn't heard anything about him yet, but we missed out on Oklahoma State, Trace Ford as well.
That hurt.
That hurt because I thought he was actually getting ready to commit. From my understanding, he was supposed to commit, but I don't know what happened, man. Last minute with Oklahoma.
I don't know either. It's just speculation at this point. Oh man, this game makes me feel sick still. I'm proud, but man, I feel like we left too much food on the table.
We left a lot of food on the table, and the thing is with me is that we are 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to exit the door because I wanted to do my normal thing. I wanted to go live and whatever, and just have some time in it. So I'm walking out of the door. I said, man, we got this. This is good. We winning. We got it. So I'm walking out of the door, and you know how you see the monitors and everything as you go out.
Yep.
And then my boy had his phone pulled up, and he pulled it up on Hulu, and I'm watching the game, and I said, and we had to literally stop walking, and he showed it. They scored. I said, you have got to be kidding me. I could. It was 4 minutes left. Yep. I said, come on, man, you ready? CP, let's go. We go. And man, I could not believe what I was seeing on the sidewalk in front of Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I was lost in Alfredo sauce to the third power. I could not believe it, man. What's your thought? What's your thoughts on that?
There was so much that went to that last 4 minutes. The fact that we were in what I perceived to be a zero or a man coverage all across the board, where our safeties both came down to play the slot receivers. They hit that little bang skinny post or that little bang 7, that slant, and then buzz down the field. Thank God for Jacoby Covington having some wheels, and he hawked the dude down close to the 5-yard line or something. But then they scored shortly thereafter. I didn't understand that part, but I felt like that really deflated us. Then our offense, when they kicked the ball, we thought that they were going to onside it. So we kind of bring in our hands team and then put Mario back to return, who you would assume is like a veteran, right? And Raleigh, and I'm not meaning to call these dudes out because I know that they're going to continue to get better with experience and repetition in these moments. But Raleigh was moving side to side too much in some of our returns. You're thinking, okay, Mario's a little bit older. Hopefully he can attack the field, give us positive yardage, and at the very least, fair catch it, possess the ball so we can start to drain this clock and do what we need to do methodically down the field. Yeah. Well, you can see the anxiety in him a little bit, in my opinion. You can kind of see this moment was like
in his eyes. Yeah.
It looked a little bit like
it looked weird, man.
Because he looked like that the whole game to me. Like,
yeah, and he dropped he dropped pretty much a touchdown.
Like 3-4 drops that game if you count the muff, right? That's 4 crucial, critical moments that it's like that's a little bit uncharacteristic of a player who has had some really great moments this season, but also it's a sign that we still are growing and developing. We're not quite over that hump yet. But to the fair catch call, automatically get away from the football, because right then and there the entire game was out of our hands. That was it, and that's what it was. And so just looking back in retrospect, it's like when you think about it, it's like, God. And our quarterback threw an interception that didn't need to happen. So there's
it was so much field. I mean, he didn't have to run hard, but he could have jogged. But but let me say this, man. Caleb was unbelievable.
He's amazing.
Caleb was unbelievable, man. And let me talk about Brian Jenkins' comment. He says, bro, our offense put up over 500 yards. How you going to add offense to this equation? I don't think, man, listen, I'm hearing so many people, man, and they want to get this receiver. They want to get this receiver. Listen, do you guys understand that we got a great receiver right now, CJ Williams, who haven't even tapped into his potential. He's hitting the transfer portal. Why do we want to keep shouting out all these other? I'm not saying that we got Michael Jackson. We got Taj Washington. We got CJ Williams, but he's out of here, man. You got Gary Bryant Jr. I mean, you got who am I missing? Mario Williams. Who else?
Kyle Ford.
Kyle Ford. My mind is going blank on me.
Mario
Williams. Who's that?
Kyron
Ware. And you got more. I just can't. John Jackson. Rice. You got more. I just can't think of them all.
Rice, but my thing is the game of his life.
Who's that?
The son of the GOAT.
Oh my God, Brendan Rice. Listen, that came from out of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest. That was incredible. that was. Brendan Rice had 174 yards. Was it 6 receptions? I could not believe he looked physical. He looked strong, and man. And so listen. I'm saying that to say we got all these receivers. Like Brian was saying, receiver is not a position of need. If we're going to get some players, my thing is, I'm not saying don't get the receivers, don't get the best receivers. But if we're going to get some and then we got Zachariah Branch coming in. We got Mekhi Lemon coming in. You got, Jacoby Covington. I don't know exactly what's happening with him.
Jacoby Lane. We hope he comes. We hope.
He's the next Dwayne Jarrett to me, in my opinion.
We want you.
We want you, man. Please. So I'm not taking anything away from anybody that's transferring in. But one thing I will say is this: we got plenty. That is not a position of need. We need somebody on defense. So to Brian's point, we really can't add that much more to the offense. I mean, Caleb did everything. Now, in these past 3 games where we lost, Caleb threw for 381 yards against Utah, 363 yards against Utah, and then 459 yards against, I believe that's Tulane. I think I got him right. But
he threw for almost 500 yards against Tulane, right?
Let me see if I'm looking at this right. He threw for almost 459. That wasn't.
Okay. I don't remember. I think that's right. Yeah,
but USC defense at the same time gave up. Yeah, that's right, because 46 points, 47 and 43. So it's like we cannot depend on Caleb that well. We cannot afford to allow Caleb to extend himself this much to where we don't want Caleb to be broke down. I mean, Caleb is a unique athlete, man. And the guy has put everything out there on the line. And for the defense not to hold, man, that's crazy. What you think, John?
I know he's in a conundrum because he believes so much in his abilities. And you can see the growth and the maturity and the confidence, even though it's hard to believe. The confidence has even skyrocketed greater since he's won the Heisman Trophy. So with that being said, you got to find ways to add support to him, because I said it earlier, and this is no shade or slight to any of the defensive players, because you guys know I love my defensive players. But I do believe Caleb was the best weapon that we had on defense.
Yes.
Was to put up an offense and to give us a cushion. And he did his job. 15-yard cushion, a 15-point cushion, forgive me, should be enough to beat most teams in this country. And for whatever reason, again, our young men are still learning how to win. And learning how to win means understanding when to dive for a tackle or when to hold up and just get a secure tackle and take the first down. Live to play another 3 to 4 downs. Don't dive at the man's feet and then let him hit the edge on us. That's what I saw over and over again. Too much commitment to diving instead of wrapping up and just absorbing the ball carrier and ending the play. That's what we need to do as a whole. That's what we used to call Trojan tackles back when I played. Don't dive at a man out of desperation because you don't want him to get an extra yard. Just stop him. Reset.
Like seriously, man.
Reset and let's do it again. Like every single play is a new opportunity to take the ball away. Just because you have the ball doesn't mean you get to keep it. Just because you got a first down doesn't mean you're going to get a touchdown. Just because you moved it doesn't mean you're going to score. That's my belief. Just stop them and let me line up again. Let me line up again until I can get us off of this field. We just don't have that as a philosophy just quite yet, it doesn't seem. Because there's too many desperation attempts. You see too many players launch and leave their feet to stop a guy for a short yardage gain, or just stop him. Hold him, hug him, and let the cavalry come.
Hold him, hug him. It seemed like they were playing two-hand touch. You remember we used to play in recess, two-hand touch, man. I'm like, the guy not going to fall down if you just touch him.
Too many of these, like chicken wings. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yo, this is not how you play, man. This is not how you play at championship defense. Championship defensive players stop ball carriers. They don't just try to tackle them as quickly as possible. They stop them from running the ball. There's the difference.
Absolutely.
We'll get there.
Absolutely. Alan Maddox, Alan, man, appreciate it, man. You said first we got to recruit, and Grinch's rep is a liability. I
agree. I agree.
It's becoming that way. I mean, it's definitely becoming that way.
I agree. I cannot talk bad about nobody in the middle of their journey. The thing is let's see the whole thing through. Now that we are at the end of this journey, I've let my dreads down. I can see everything with a clearer lens and take an overview of everything. I'm not going to criticize you and beat you down while you're in the process of trying to put it together. What I will say is, at the end of this season, I'm very unhappy with the total result of what we were able to produce with the talent that I think we have, even though we got a lot of rebuilding to do. I still believe that we had enough competent and capable players to produce greater results defensively. I really strongly believe that way. And so I know that the players feel that way as well. There is not one player who is just overly satisfied with how the season ended. I promise you, they're all sick. They're all upset.
Yeah, man. So let me get to some of these questions here.
Somebody just asked me a very good question, but I'm
gonna get right back to that. It says CJ Williams is leaving. What about Gary? VM 805. The jury. I'm just gonna say the jury's still out. We'll have to see what happens with that. This is it right here. Brian, hold on, John. He had the same results at Oklahoma. Riley has last 3 seasons with Grinch.
Let me answer that. Can I get on that?
Yeah, most definitely.
I can't reference anything about Oklahoma because that wasn't the same defense. You say it's the same defense, but they didn't have Eric Gentry. They didn't have Mekhi Blackman. They didn't have the players that we had. So I cannot say it's the same defense. The same defense means the same players because each player has different attributes. Okay. So regardless of whatever happened at OU, although you don't want to hear this most likely, whatever happens in the Cardinal and Gold is different than what happens in other colored uniforms. So this is the first time I've ever seen this Alex Grinch defense. And no one can argue that because we had multiple types of players that we've never had before. We had multiple types of productivity that we haven't had in recent years, like Tulane going crazy and leading the nation. Like we had a lockdown corner in Mekhi Blackman who won about 60-something to 70% of his reps. We haven't had that in years. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, and we had an All-American free safety for the first time since I don't know when. Oh, well, we had Talanoa Hufanga was an All-American as well. But what I'm saying is it's a different defense. So I can't grade what Grinch did this year based on what I've seen from the past. I cannot. What I can say is there are some similarities from the downfalls of that same tenure from Oklahoma or wherever he was in the past that did show up. That's enough to cause concern, B Jinx. So I'm with you. I'm actually on the same page as you, but at the same time, you can't say something is the same when it's actually totally different.
And different players, and rightfully so. Walker, he says, Jaywalk, what is Georgia's defense doing that we can learn from? Well, let me put this up real quick.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't talk about this. I don't know. No, you guys can't see this. I can't see that. But anyway,
read them out, big bro. Read them out.
Well, it's so. I'm gonna give you some numbers. I got some numbers. And you can address this question. Ohio State versus Georgia. The score was 41-42. Here's my thing, and I'm not. Hey, you guys already know. I stated how I feel right now, where I feel out about Grinch. But I just want to put this out there because when USC, it started with Alabama and Tennessee. When they put up 50-some points on each other early on in the season, you just didn't hear the same. They didn't address it the same way. Now Georgia versus I got the numbers here. Georgia versus Ohio State the other day. Georgia put up 533 yards on Ohio State. Yep. Ohio State put up 467 yards total on Georgia. Ohio State had the ball for 32.36 minutes. Georgia had the ball for 27.24 minutes. So total plays for Ohio State was 66. Total plays for Georgia was 60. So these guys, Ohio State averaged 7.1 yards. Georgia averaged 8.9 yards. So my thing is, where's the defense right there? I mean, is it just USC when they had these high scoring games, or is it all across the board that everybody feels that same way? I'm not defending nothing. I just want to know.
The board. Look, I don't care what nobody says. Michigan gave up 51 points.
I got those numbers too.
ECU scored 51 points.
I got those numbers too.
So all these defenses are getting smoked. All of them. The problem is that we're the ones that they point the finger at because we're the cold-headed stepchildren.
Exactly.
But the fact is, I'm seeing the same DBs get smoked. I'm seeing the same missed tackles. There was like 30-something missed tackles in that TCU game. There was like 28 missed tackles in that Georgia game. But you will never hear the narrative the same, and that's fine. But we also hold ourselves to a high standard here at USC. So we are like, okay, well, we got to kind of drift with this narrative as well because we're not happy with what we see either. But when you look at the numbers,
and they made it to the playoffs. They did make it to the playoffs.
Correct, and that's correct. But I believe that same Tulane team could have given TCU, Michigan, and Ohio State problems.
Well, here's that Tulane team beat Kansas State, who beat TCU.
Correct.
So,
and I didn't want to go.
We cannot forget that.
I didn't want to go there. But that's the truth.
I went there.
Yeah, there you go. So what I'm saying is anybody in this top 6 of the country, you're giving each other a fit on any given Saturday, any given game day. What I hate to admit is that we just didn't look as physical as some of the other teams in the country.
And I don't get that.
Yeah.
When we rise to occasion against Notre Dame and against UCLA, it's like to me, in my opinion, it was almost like because it was Tulane, you didn't see the same aggression and the same energy as it was on defense. I mean, they came out on all cylinders with Notre Dame and UCLA.
They really did, man.
I just that right there alone to me is mind-boggling. I'm just trying to get an understanding of like why.
Yeah, man. You know what? I can't ask why anymore. I can't because the season is done. They gave us some great moments. They gave us some great moments, man. They gave us some really fun things to talk about all year. It got us in front of all of you beautiful people. We've agreed on some things. We've disagreed on some things. I mean, we've had some painful losses together that we've been fighting with one another and being supportive with. We've had some beautiful victories. We've celebrated 11 victory Saturdays and so forth and so on. But at the end of the day, the work's not done. Job's not finished. We did underachieve based on where we could have been. I think that if we would have been in that top 4 of the college playoff, I believe we could have beat 2 to 3 of those teams with minimal extra effort. I think we could have really done some really powerful things. However, shoulda, woulda, coulda, we didn't. That means we still have to keep fighting on. That's why we call ourselves the Trojans and we fight on. We always move forward. That's just it. I am just as happy to say move forward with Grinch if he can actually prove that we can make the necessary adjustments in game moments. And I'm just as happy to say, let's start over and build this thing again with a different type of coordinator. But I also can't just.
So you kind of split. Are you split?
I am, because I can see how, you know, and I don't want to be double-minded here or double. You know, I'm not trying to add confusion to folks, but here's the reason why is because we produced multiple All-Americans on our defense for the first time in years. Not only that, but we also produced the most turnovers in the country. We also produced the most tackles for loss. You know, we were in the top 10 in so many defensive categories, and then we weren't. So it lets you know that something is there. There's enough there's a light bulb there, but overall it's just not clicking at all cylinders. So we got to pay respect to things of that nature. But at the same time, I don't like how soft we look when the other teams got more physical. I don't like that.
Absolutely. John Chichilla says, Jay and Jaywalk, I think you guys should go out there and coach. Hey, man. Hey, let me tell you something about Jaywalk, man. I think he can let me put this up. I think he can coach DBs, man. I think Jaywalk can get out there right now and coach some DBs. And I'm gonna put this comment up if I can get to it.
Good. And speed. Oh gosh, do I feel like I need to coach some performance speed, some explosive.
There's so many comments coming in here.
Let's get to these comments for these last few minutes.
I'm gonna get to these comments for these last few minutes.
And I mean, you know,
there's a bunch here. B Hunter, appreciate it. He said Grinch isn't going anywhere because Riley uprooted. Yeah, absolutely. I think Riley uprooted him, man. He took him from Oklahoma, and I think here's my thing. Do I think he should be here? You know, I'm kind of split. I'm right there. When I got out of that game yesterday, I said, listen, he needs to be out of here. And that's how I felt. I said he needs to. After the game, I was so mad. I was walking to I said he needs to be out of here. He's lost in all the soy sauce. And I was hot. Listen, Jay, hey, you remember that show? You're fired. What show was that? I wanted to do one of them numbers. You're fired. Was that Donald Trump show?
I was about to hit him with the Martin and Gina. Get to stepping.
Exactly. Hey, let me get to this. John Chichilla. Jay, why is it dark? Listen, man, I do not understand for nothing. I am one of the biggest Darwin Barlow advocates that you can find. I absolutely love. I don't know, man, and I pray he doesn't hit the portal. I pray. because I love Barlow, man. I don't know. That's a great
imagine
question.
had he stayed with TCU, my man would have been in the national championship.
Yeah, he would have. I don't even want that. Yeah, that. And how do you think he's feeling right now?
Right.
And so,
right.
man, you know, so
I do believe Eric Gentry will be a starter. Yes.
Well, they said, do you have faith in Eric Gentry?
I do.
I
have the utmost faith in Eric Gentry. I have the utmost faith. Shane Lee can play as well, but it's all about situational football.
Man, Carter, man. Hey, man, why you doing that, man? Hey, come on, bro.
Hey, Carter. No, let's give Carter some love.
No,
Carter,
hey, shout out to Carter,
Monroe.
man. Hey, Carter be coming with these questions and these answers, man. He be coming with these little paragraphs in the chat, man. And, hey, he want to see USC back on top, man. And
hey,
I'm already
knowing. Let me give everybody who can read it. Carter Monroe says SC defense couldn't stop an old lady at a red light. Carter, I'm gonna agree with you, bro. They was looking extra discombobulated, man. I'm talking like that little running back had them in a blender, bro. He put him on spin cycle. I'm like, yo, I don't understand it for the heart of me. What I will say is it wasn't for a lack of effort. I think our kids, when it comes to like those big moments, I have to look at them like kids. They're still growing. But at the same time, I respect them like men because they are men, but they're still learning. And there's a lot to learn in 1 year. There was a lot to take in 1 full year. All of it. And again, we had to learn how to win. If I go back to my first year at USC, we went 6-6. Then we went like 10-2. And then we went 11-1 and then undefeated, and we was balling. So it does take time. And in that process, we went through multiple coaches. We went through multiple defensive type of coaches. I went from all sorts of crazy linebackers to then finally getting Coach Ken Norton Jr. I went from multiple secondary coaches and then finally finding the right guy that spoke to my heart. You know, Coach Ed Orgeron was there for the most part the whole way as the DC, but like Coach Carroll brought in some very strong accessory pieces to help bridge the gap. So I think Lincoln Riley can do it.
Yeah. Can you deal with for a second? I want to answer this. Well, I want to read this, but can you deal with Coach Carroll being a 6-6 team? You played on that team.
Yes.
His first year, Coach O was on the team.
Yes, he was our DC.
Yeah, so let's real quick, because I've been seeing a lot of people hit in the comment section. Let's get Coach O back. Pete Carroll days.
We don't need Coach O back.
Yeah, I want you to address that. I want to read this, but I want you to address that. Sergeant C. Hey, salute to you, man. Hey, I appreciate you. He says, hello, family. Wishing you a better New Year's. Caleb, Brendan Rice were incredible. The Cotton Bowl defense must be completely revamped. Lastly, please pray. Hey, I don't know. You might have not been here, but we actually did a prayer for DeMar Hamilton, man, because we both felt like me and John discussed it before we got on air, and we wanted to just stand in the gap and pray for him, man, and pray for the family, all those who are involved in both sides. So absolutely, I totally agree. We did. We went in the beginning and said a prayer for him. 5-10 minute prayer, man. So hey, I appreciate that comment, man.
Yes,
can you answer that, John, about Coach Carroll and then Coach Ed Orgeron? 6-6 and the defense coordinator.
So I'm gonna say Lincoln Riley has the ability to do some things that Coach Carroll did, but we're not trying to be Coach Carroll again. He was one of one. He was the most polarizing coach in college football when he was there. Coach Carroll used to go into the community and hang out with the gangbangers that lived around the neighborhood and got them to befriend us and to make sure we had safety, right? That's another level, right? For those of you who don't know, he used to go out there in the streets and be like, yo, leave our kids alone. If you guys need something, come talk to me. I'm going to take care of you. Took care of them. He was a man of the people, right? That's why people love him. PC was the GOAT.
Yeah.
Now, Lincoln is different because he understands how to speak this generation's language, and he does know how to cultivate NFL players. He can create NFL talent. that in and of itself, you can see the development on the offensive side of the ball. I do believe that he is betting on himself, and there's a lot of pressure to fulfill the legacy of what USC tradition is expecting of him. So with that being said, I have no reason to believe that he won't get it done. He is going to get it done. Now, it's going to happen as fast or as swift as timely as we want it to. That's us to have some grace for people who need to like really get their roots. Like the moment this man got to California, he was working and he brought people in because he needed to. Now I think he has the opportunity to sit back and overview things and make the moves that he believes is best out of evaluation and out of a little more gathering of information versus out of pure necessity because of a time crunch. So let's breathe a little bit this offseason and let's see how things unfold, because I do believe he's playing chess, not checkers.
Absolutely, absolutely. My man Kamasi, what's up,
my brother? What up?
Kamasi says, Coach, he says we need Jaywalk to play DB and USCJ to play running back and linebacker. Hey, Kamasi, listen, John has officially transitioned into a linebacker. He's 235 pounds now. I'm only 225. I'm 6 feet, 225. Jaywalk is 6'2", 240 almost, man. He's a linebacker, but I did play running back.
Hey, my wife be feeding me, bro. She be feeding me.
Hey, what's up, Mo? Mo says soy sauce. Absolutely, man. Jamie Perez says you're fired.
You're fired.
Hey, I felt like saying that after the game, man. Real talk. So listen, man, we appreciate it's a lot of stuff coming in here, man. We got to get to these real quick. Barlow not getting carries is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I put a video of him doing, I don't know how much weight that was. He might have about 500 pounds on there. He was squatting that stuff crazy, man. I put it on my Instagram.
He's so nimble too, bro.
Man, he is just he's incredible. Jay, that's how I was when the clock struck. Oh,
Grinch, time to go. You can't blame everything on one person because, again, Alex Grinch can't tackle ball carriers. Let's really be real. Whether he's teaching the kids how to tackle, teaching the athletes how to tackle or not, that's another story. But I have reason to believe because earlier in the season, we saw evidence that they could tackle well. We were tackling everyone in the first 4 games. Then we got some leakage, we got some turnovers and forced fumbles, and I started to see people transition from wrapping up ball carries to throwing their shoulder in and diving at thigh boards. And so at this point, I'm believing that athletes are making individual decisions in critical moments that have impacted the game. I think that is going to be corrected over this offseason. Matter of fact, I know it will be because I've already spoken to a handful of people to say this is what we need to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said this before. I think the players we got coming in, you talk about some guys I think we're gonna get plugged in right away, man. I really believe that there's some right now guys. I think they're gonna develop as they play. So listen, man. Go ahead. You about to say something?
I just wanted to say, like, now that we transition into the off season, like, flood the comments with like, if you guys want us to bring special guests on to just talk about some of the highlights of the season, the lowlights of the season, what do we expect to come? But we've got a pretty loaded catalog of available USC alumnus who play football, who are willing to step on and be a part of like a panel, almost like a live Q&A with some legends as well. So like, if you guys are feeling like that's something you want to be a part of, like, let us know, and let's keep this party going. Hopefully we'll keep
this on Sunday
for sure.
Me and Jaywalk's schedule is absolutely conflicting, but we'll try to do this on Sunday. Make sure we have something for you on Sunday. Being that because it's time to transition to the off season, and you guys let me know what time is a good time for you on Sunday, so we can kind of have a clear, unanimous understanding, so we can catch everybody. We got 100. We got 163 in here right now. What's a good time on Sunday? Some go to church, some don't. Jay, I want you to go to church, Jay. You know.
You get my praise and worship on.
Yeah. So So we'll come up with a good time. We want to, as we get ready to close, we want you guys to put that in the comment section, 6 p.m. Anthony said 6 p.m.
Yeah, 6 p.m. All right. That's Pacific time or Eastern?
Anthony's on the West Coast. I believe that's Pacific. That's PT. Okay, so listen. Okay, Reggie Bush, Pat Hayden, Marcus Allen.
I don't know about Pat Hayden, man. I don't know about Pat Hayden. He kind of ran our program to the dust. I don't know.
Yeah, 9 p.m. Sean Howard, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we got Sunday evening, absolutely. So we're gonna try to make that work for Sunday, and we'll still handle the stuff. Get Sean.
Sua. Yeah, we got to get Sua. Hey, I love Sua, man. Sua,
absolutely.
Sua will show us some love.
So listen, man. We'll tap in with everybody, man. And listen, we're gonna see some transfer portal stuff all week long. We get ready to see some stuff, man. Yeah. And look, don't get alarmed. It's gonna be some guys coming in. It's gonna be some guys coming out. So don't be alarmed. Let's trust the process. Let's believe that everything is gonna be all right. Listen, man, Jay, you got anything you want to say before you tap out of here?
You know what? Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. And you know what? If God be for us, then who can stand against us? And we all got this together, man. It's not just a good thing, it's a God thing. And we love you all. And again, continue prayers out to the Hamlin family. And let's just continue to fight on no matter what. But I'm challenging everybody in this new year to shift your mindset. Don't allow the first thought that comes into your mind to be something that you think tears apart. Let's try to build things and speak life into folks. And I really, really believe that culturally, this is a good learning lesson for all of us, because as the body of the USC fraternity, we have to understand how to properly support our team. Believe me, they're going through more pressure than most of you could ever imagine. You have no idea. So let us really try not to add more workload and more burden to what they have to do. Let's try to speak love, try to speak light. Let's keep it a beam. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. But at the same time, understand that when you say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you, that is scientifically proven to be untrue. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can break your heart and your psychology.
Absolutely.
Words can really lay root, because you all can remember when somebody says something negative about you and how long it impacted you, how you felt about it. You don't think these young men who are developing into who they're supposed to be, who God is creating them to be, you don't think your words are impacting them? I promise you, man, they really do, because I've been in those shoes before. I've been given the death threats when I played against Notre Dame and almost cost us the game. You suck, go hang yourself. Can you imagine from people who are wearing cardinal and gold who say they love USC football? You suck, go hang yourself. I'm like, yo, man, it's real. It's real. And had I been a weaker minded person, imagine if I took action on those comments. Imagine if I couldn't live down the embarrassment of feeling like I almost cost us the game. And these young men are going through a lot of pressure, and they got social media, which most of us never had to play with that type of scrutiny, under that microscope, under that lens. That's instant. People can start shooting on you, poisonous darts. So let's be better. Let's be better together. And I love you. I'm not reaching, and I'm trying not to preach, but I'm trying to teach.
Absolutely, man. So listen, I'm a firm believer in that as well, man, especially when you talk about biblical terms. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Whatever you put out in the air, you're going to manifest that, man. So we want to keep the negative. That's why I just want you guys to know who I am. Who I am is I'm not the negative type of guy. I believe in the biblical principle as far as putting things in the atmosphere. And once you put some things out there, they will manifest. So sometimes things aren't what they look like, but I believe in calling those things that are not as though they are, and believe in the manifestation of aspect of it. That's just the way I live by that. I believe that. And as a result, I believe things that were in the back burner that didn't look too hot for me came out in the beginning, in the front of me. And as a result, I've seen a full manifestation, man. So Listen, man, I appreciate everybody, man. We love these players. We love USC. We love the coaching staff. We love Grinch, but he was lost in the sauce. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But listen, until tomorrow, I got some news, man. Hey, look, Zach Branch, All-American game today. He ran a crazy kick return. Jay, did you see that? I put it on my Instagram.
You know,
Zachariah Branch ran a kick return in the Under Armour All-American game, and he got jiggy with it. Let me tell you something. He is going to come in and start. Do you hear what I'm saying? Zachariah Branch is coming in. He's a game changer. He's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Man, that guy is just ridiculous. His speed is unreal. Look, until tomorrow, man, listen, everybody stay blessed, man. And look, continue to fight on, fight on, fight on.
Much love, Trojan family. Congratulations on a great year.